Good morning and welcome to Outdoors with John. Today we're in the White Mountain National Forest and we're going to be hiking to Shoal Pond, Zcliff, Zealand Mountain, Zealand Hut, back to here. If I do that all, it'll be about 18 miles, so it could be a pretty long day. But hopefully going to be a lot of fun. The weather looks good, but this is the White Mountains and that can change in a heartbeat, so I'm prepared just in case. Okay, logging railroad when I went through the swampy area here. And we're going to stay on the shore where it's a little bit drier. Okay, and why do we have this little swampy area here? Well, we've got a huge beaver dam. Back on the trail we just hiked. Nice clear view here. Maybe Mount Tom? Not sure what mountain that is. We're on the Zealand Trail. We're exactly 2.3 miles from the trailhead that we started at. Sign, we are 2.5 miles from the trailhead. Zealand Hut 0.2 mile, Galehead Hut 7.2. This could be Zealand Falls here. Just the lower falls. Pond Trail, or the Appalachian Trail. We're 1.3 miles from Zealand Trail and 0.8 of a mile to Thoreau Falls. And to our right is the Zcliff Trail that takes us to Twinway Trail at 1.4 miles. We're looking north into Zealand Notch, and in the middle is Whitehall Brook, which is flowing southerly through this notch. Thoreau Falls Trails 2 miles, and Ethan Pond Campsite 2.5, 0.8 of a mile back to Zcliff. So we're going to leave the AT for a minute and go check out the waterfalls. Right, Thoreau Falls is within the Pemigewasset Wilderness. Yeah, so 5.4 miles to this point. We're at the top of Thoreau Falls. Pretty view here. I'll show it to you in a second. 6.5 miles into our hike, we reached another junction. On the right is the Shoal Pond Trail. On the left, we continue on the Ethan Pond AT Trail. On the left is Zcliff, and on the right is the right-of-way of the Zealand Valley Railroad. If you wonder why there's so many rocks here, take a look at that cliff. Taking my first sit-down break of the day after deciding not to go to Shoal Pond. At 1.4 miles round trip, the trail looked like it hasn't been maintained. In fact, that may be true because it's in the wilderness area. Anyways, we're back on the railroad, that Zealand Valley Railroad, and we're almost at a point. I can see the point from here where we're going to be taking the Zcliff Trail down into the valley and up and around the left side of that cliff, which we'll be able to rejoin the and after that we should be able to rejoin the Appalachian Trail up there. So should be interesting. But I really earned a break. I'm almost 8 miles into the hike, and it's about half, maybe a little less than half of the total distance supposed to do. The Zealand Valley Railroad had a line on this side, or the east side of Zealand Valley. It also had a line on the west side of the hill, and probably went to just about down there. And so they had both sides of this valley covered. Alright, we're at the junction of Zcliff Trail, 1.4 miles back to the Twin-Way Trail. But other than getting down to the bottom of this notch, it's all uphill. Let's see how much fun that is. Timajawasset Wilderness Area. Alright, we're at the bottom of the notch. This is maybe Whiteface Brook. A little over 9 miles into the hike. We're on a shoulder going up Zcliff. I have a feeling we're approximately a half a mile from the Twin-Way junction. Just saw the tail end of a black snake. Don't know how big it was because I only saw the tail. It was running away and I was happy about that. I was primarily looking for bears anyways. Continuing on up. Alright, if you ask me, that's practically vertical. Alright, so I'm going to leave the camera on and see if I can do this without killing myself. See what you guys think. Alright. Dragging poles stowed up there. Hopefully they're not sliding down the mountain. It looks like people may have used this to get up. There's a handhold there. Okay, there it is. See some big mountains across the way there. Right, we're 9 miles into the hike. I think this ends the steepest stretch. Another couple tenths of a mile, maybe 3/10 of a mile. We'll be up to Twin Ways. We just came up Zcliff, 1.4 miles from the Eastern Pond Trail, and we'll be going back this way towards Lend-a-Hand Trail. But for now, we're going out towards Zcliff Trail, the junction of the Zcliff Pond. Well, we got to the top of that cliff above Zcliff Pond. We're basically walking along the ridge between there and Zealand Mountain, which should be in about half a mile or so. Hope it stays nice and flat. Alright, I've been hiking for 7 hours. I'm almost 11 miles into my hike. I'm about a half an hour from my first 4K of the trip. Zealand Mountain, the top of the mountain. It's 1/10 of a mile. We've almost reached our goal. I'm pretty excited because there's a long walk here. I want to see the top of Zealand Mountain. Let's go check it out. Okay, we've reached the top of Zealand Mountain. Unfortunately, there isn't much of a view. Alright, it's time for a break. I'm sitting on top of Zealand, Mount Zealand to be exact. I'm going to break out some food. Alright, this might be the highlight of the day here. We're dealing with Zcliff, which I'll take you down and show you. It's pretty scary looking down. It's very steep, but the views are pretty good. Looking down into the valley here. Awesome hike today. I am approximately 13.5 miles into it. Looking down in the Zealand Notch here, and we can see Mount Whiteface, and you can see the railroad bed at the lower end of it. We hiked that earlier today. We went around the bend towards the left into the next valley, and then we hiked down to see the falls, Thoreau Falls, and then we came back. Later, we branched off and hiked down into this notch and took the Zcliff Trail all the way up this thing, all the way up the path in front of us, and probably down there someplace, and underneath those cliffs and around that side, and then reconnected with the Appalachian Trail. We're now looking south to the Pimagewasset Wilderness area. Skies look a little dark, but fortunately we've been lucky today. We are not getting any rain. And the rain is just starting now. Here we are at Zealand Falls, Upper Falls here. Looking down Zealand Falls to Zealand Pond. Just starting to rain. And this is looking up. Okay, so 14.7 miles so far. Made it to Zealand Falls Hut. Right now it's starting to rain and there's some thunder. Looks like it's coming from the south and we might get some rain. So I think I'm going to see what I can do about getting the hut, maybe rearranging my pack and figuring out how much further I have to go to get back to the car. The weather didn't improve and I would hike back to my car, some of it in rain and some of it in darkness. Thanks for coming along with me today. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you out here on another hike in the future.